and welcome to NetLAB Security Plus V4 Lab Series. I'm doing the walkthrough for Lab 17, configuring a network-based firewall. As you can see, I have the lab open on the left-hand side, and to the right of me I have the content of the lab, so you can follow along with me. If you scroll through the content, on page 3, it should list the objectives. We're going to install and configure network components to support organizational security, and then give a scenario, implement secure network architecture. And then on page 5, it'll give you all your lab settings, which contains the virtual machine names, their IP addresses, their accounts, and their passwords. You may need to refer back to page 5 if there is a requirement for you to log into one of the virtual machines and the process of logging in with the account and password is not listed. So let us begin with lesson 1, configure ICMP on the firewall. So first we're going to go through blocking ICMP requests on a pfSense. We're going to launch the Ubuntu SRV virtual machine to access the graphical login screen. To do that, on the lab, you're going to go ahead and select the Ubuntu CRV tab. That'll then launch the virtual machine where you'll see an icon for the sysadmin. Just click on that and it'll open up the field for the password where you're going to type in NDG in all capitals and then lowercase LAB PASS 123 and exclamation mark. Hit enter and that'll log you right in. As it's loading, you're going to see a menu on the left-hand side that'll provide you an icon for Firefox, folders, and then right underneath that is a black box that is an icon for the terminal. You're going to go ahead and open that up by double-clicking on it. When the window opens up, we're going to send a ping request to the Kali system, which is the IP address 203.0.113.2, and then to complete that, we're going to have to type in a ping command. So follow along. On the terminal window, you're going to see a white box. Just click on the white box and start typing PING in all lowercase, space, dash, C4, space, and then the IP address 203.0.113. That's supposed to be 113.2, and then hit enter. As you can see, the pings have been successful, and we're going to now access the Kali virtual machine to access the graphical login screen. So back at the lab, select the Kali tab on the top of the menu. It'll give you the box for the administrative credentials. So we're going to type in Kali. I shouldn't say administrative credentials, I should say login credentials. And the password is Kali. Hit enter. And that will then open up the Kali virtual box. And again, we're going to open up a terminal window, but the terminal window is located in another area on Kali. It's up on the top taskbar. Over to the right hand side, it's again the black icon box. Click on that. It'll open up a terminal window for you. And then we're going to send a ping request now to the Ubuntu server, which the IP address is 172.16.110. And we're going to utilize that same command for ping. It's PING in all lowercase, space, dash, C4, space 172.16.1.10. And so far it looks like those pings were successful, which means that you can communicate between these two virtual machines. So after the pings came successful, we're going to go back to the Ubuntu server system, and this time we're going to open up the Firefox web browser. That will be on the left-hand menu on the top. It looks like a little fox. Click on that. And then in the address bar, the blank field on the top of the menu, or I should say top of the screen, you're going to type in http://172.16.1.1 and then hit enter. When prompted, it's going to ask you to log in, and we're going to log in using sysadmin for the account, and then capital NDG, lowercase LABPASS 123 exclamation mark for the password, and just hit enter or click on sign on. Once this management graphical user interface opens, go ahead and navigate to the firewall and then rules, which you'll find the firewall is on this black menu bar. We're going to select that, and then you'll get a drop down, and now you're going to select rules. While viewing the WAN tab, click on, we're on the WAN tab, that's why it's highlighted. We're going to click on the add rule to the top of the list, which should be, I wonder if I make this bigger, we can see it better. Here it is, add. And down at the bottom, you have an add down and an add up. Let me check to see which add it wanted us to select. Okay, the first add button on the bottom of the listed rules. And then we're going to click the drop down box next to action and select block. And then we're going to select ICMP as the protocol section. That's down here underneath address family. We're selecting ICMP. And then in the destination section, set the network as a DMZ.net. So let's look for the destination. It's right, it's probably like the third section down. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to look for DMZ.net. Here we go. So yeah, right next to destination, you'll have a drop down arrow field where you'll select DMZ.net. And then leave the subtypes as is. And in the destination section, set the network. We did that, which is the 172.16.1.1 WAC 28 mask. We're going to leave all other options as default and then click the save button. So here we go, save. When brought back to the firewall rules page, notice the warning message and select apply changes. Verify that the firewall rules table looks like this in the image for the WAN interface. Yeah, that looks pretty accurate with the two X's. Then we're going to change back to Kali, and we're going to go back to terminal window, which I believe we just left open. And we're going to tap to ping once again the Ubuntu server. So I'm just going to click on the white box in the terminal window, hit up, and that should bring up the last command, or the listing of the last commands that you utilized. If you notice, it's 172.16.1.10, which is exactly the device you need to ping. Just hit enter and let it go through the ping process. Right, it says 4 packets transmitted, 0 received. Yep, 100% packet loss. And then time zone is 3 hours and 77 ms. Alright, so that's the end of our lesson 1. We're going to go ahead and come back in another video to go over lesson 2.